I've learned how to crack my own back. It's Comics and Shots, a completely improvised semi-comedic music by Howard Stern's Mick the Nerd, aka YouTube and TikTok's Mick the Man, aka Mick the Maverick, aka someone who got really into arcade spirits. Or is it Arcade Paradise? Arcade Paradise. Dear God. Oh, man. Those things are investive. Today's subject, the weirdness that was The Amazing Spider-Man 2. Yeah. There's some stuff good about it. The Peter and Gwen Stacy stuff, they keep that drama from the previous movie and keep the tragedy that comes along with it, dying in his arms, yada yada yada. Then you have the villains. I want to say Rhino is the closest in that he's Russian and that he gets a suit that makes him a supervillain. Even then that's a bit of a leap. Also, you only get to see him for like 1 minute in the goddamn film. Oh, Paul Giamatti, why were you not in Spider-Man No Way Home? Wait. No Way Home, yeah. Crap, why wasn't he in that? They could have completed the Sinister Six. Like, what? Oh, but we just had to have a Venom cameo instead. Whatever. Then you got Harry Osborn. They've completely gotten rid of the schizophrenia, the addiction, and the proper revenge on Spider-Man. As well as how they make the Goblin Serum for some reason Spider-Venom. No. Like, it's, the Oz formula was, like, similar, like, I think they were going for, like, an Ultimate Comics type thing, but it ends up just being weird. And, like, he has all these weapons with his suit that were not explained beforehand. Yeah, if you want a good Green Goblin story, you go for Spider-Man 1, Sam Raimi, for sure. Dear God, that G2, Goblin 2, and Spider-Man 3 actually looks better now. How is that possible? How is that possible? He was barely in that film as well. Ugh. Weird. Yeah, and of course, Electro. I'm of two minds. On the one hand, he kind of looks a little goofy. The No Way Home version looked a lot better. Let's get real here. Even brought back the starfish, the electric starfish mask. On the other hand, making him basically the electric Riddler is 10 times more interesting an origin story than his actual origin story, which is cable worker gets struck by lightning while touching an electric live cable at the same time. And then he decides to do crime. Don't you bring up his origin they bring up in the 90s. That was retconned later. His original origin was cable worker who decides to do crimes. And also he has like some Tesla coils. Yeah, I like Amazing Max, Jamie Foxx Max. It works. It's different. But it's like, some people would prefer the more simpler origin. Electric guy who just wants to do crime. Yeah. I mean, hell, Paul Giamatti's Rhino was just Russian criminal who gets a mech suit. Actually, so many of Spider-Man's villains are just dumb criminals who get suits by other supervillains. It's kind of repetitive. Yeah. Or they already have abilities, but they get some sort of upgrade. Oh boy, look at the kangaroo. That guy sucked. Oh boy. Yeah, villains, Max, Rhino, Goblin. Yeah, how do we, like, after such an accurate depiction of Kurt Connors in, like, the first film, loses an arm, wants to get it back, turns himself into a lizard, he go crazy. Then we get the version of Max who's like Maxwell Dillon, who's barely anything like the comic book counterpart that was debatably better. You got the version of the Rhino, who's like generally accurate in that he's a Russian criminal who gets a mech suit, but then we barely see any of him. And then you get the Green Goblin, who's not even called the Green Goblin in the film. Why? Also, why did you show us the Green Goblin in this film? You should have set that up for the third one and then killed off Gwen Stacy then and there. Like, Goblin killing Gwen Stacy in the comics, it's like there's a lot more panache. He knows who Peter Parker is, and he's trying to get back at him. And this is just manslaughter, essentially. Not as poetic. It's still generally tragic, Like I said, they do Gwen and Peter right in this film, but the villains were weird. And I hate that people didn't think it was good enough, or Sony didn't think it was good enough for a third one. A third movie could have redeemed the Amazing trilogy. Yeah, like bringing a villain that's like actually interesting and has proper motivation. I don't know. We could have done something. I'm just glad that like No Way Home at least gave like Andrew Garfield Peter like a semi like redemption in how he saved MJ from her falling to her death. Yeah, that was a sweet moment. Yeah, but I'm still hoping for more. After Spider-Man 4, give us Amazing Spider-Man 3. Disney, Sony, whoever owns it, please bring it home. Bring it home. With that, like, comment, and subscribe. Donate if you're feeling nice. Share it with a bear. And always remember, praise be to the blood elk, fear the stabbopotamus, and death to Kronos. Yeah, baby. And yeah, I know I should probably see a chiropractor, but my stretching is helping.